Hey guys, Dawn here. I just want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I'm taking a break from my thank you cards to make a Father's Day card for my husband. I decided to create a peaceful beach scene with the Build an Island die set. You can do so much with this set. I'm going to be using the palm trees and the small boat, and I'm going to pair it with the beach frogs stamp set. I thought it would make a cute card since my husband likes frogs. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp out some images. I chose to stamp a few different images out since I wasn't quite sure which image I wanted to use yet. And I'm going to cut them out with the matching die, which can be purchased separately. And then I'm just going to set them aside for later. I'm going to use the It's Cloudy stencil to make my background. I'm using the Distress Oxide ink Tumbled Glass. It's my favorite color to use for a sky background. I put one side of the stencil on the paper and I'm using my blending brush to put a light coating on the paper. I do brush some of it off on the scrap paper so I don't get any harsh dark spots. I turn my stencil to another side and I just keep repeating the process. Now, I decided to use all four sides of the stencil, but you can use just one side if you wanted to. I wanted to have all different shapes and sizes of the clouds, and that's why I used all the different sides. Once I used all the edges, I wipe off the stencil so I don't get any ink on my paper where I don't want it. And then I'll do it all over again until I have the entire paper covered. You don't need to go all the way to the bottom with the blue ink because you'll be covering it up with the island. But I did just because I have OCD and I needed to finish the whole entire paper. Also, disregard the palm trees that I cut out in this frame. I had changed my mind on what I was going to do and forgot to take them out of the video. Next, I'm going to die cut 3 of the islands from white cardstock, and then I'm going to stack them on top of each other. One reason is to give the card dimension, and the other reason is because the palm trees are a little fragile and they will bend easily, and since I wanted to Copic color them, I want them to be strong and be able to withstand the coloring that I'll be doing. Now I'm going to ink blend my beach area. I'm using the Distress Oxide Frayed Burlap color. I think this color reminds me of a sandy beach. I just blend it all over the bottom of the island. I rub some ink off my scrap paper to help avoid dark spots. However, I did get a little dark spot on the left side of the paper, and to compensate for that, I'm going to make the edges a little bit darker. Plus, it will lighten up over time, and so it's not that big of a deal because also I'm going to put my frog there, and it's going to cover that spot up anyways. But I wanted to point it out because it is a very easy fix by making other spots darker to draw your attention away from that spot. Now I'm going to Copic color my palm trees. I'm using E35 for the tree trunks. I'm not doing anything special here, just coloring the entire tree trunk the same exact color. Next, I'm going to color the tops of the trees with YG13. I'm just quickly coloring it in, so I'm just going to speed right through it. And then I'm going to take YG17, the grass green, and just make some streaks going through the leaves. I wasn't looking to blend the darker color. I'm just basically kind of leaving it like that because that's the look I was going for, but you can go back and blend the two colors if you really want to. I take R27 and I'm going to color the top of the umbrella with it, and then I'm going to color in the handle. I'm taking the same 2 green colors I used for the palm trees, and I'm using it on the frog. I like to do that sometimes so I'm not using so many different Copic markers. I know a lot of people don't have a huge selection, and so I try to limit the amount of different colors I use for that reason. I color the bottom of the boat and the pole with E44. I wanted the bottom of the boat to be darker than the sand was because I didn't want it to blend in with the sand. And then I color the sails in with B28, the royal blue color. I'm using the Happy Saying stamp set for the Father's Day sentiment. I didn't realize I didn't have a lot to choose from for Father's Day sentiment, so it's definitely on my list to get more of them. So you can use whatever sentiment you have. You don't need to use these. I'm using the Happy sentiment from the Be Happy stamp set because I wanted the Happy to be bigger than the Father's Day sentiment, and I'm just stamping it with black ink. I decided to put some clear Wink of Stella on the leaves of the palm tree just to give them a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to use the Beach Hut stamp set for the birds and the beach sign. I usually try to limit the number of stamp sets I use just because I know a lot of people don't like to buy so many stamp sets just to make one card, but I really thought it needed some birds flying in the air, and I really liked the beach sign. You can use the birds, though, that come with the Build an Island die set if you wanted to. I just figured I would use these since I was using the sign anyways. But you could also use the umbrella that comes in the Build an Island die set instead of the beach sign, just to give it a different look. And then I just quickly stamp the images with some black ink. And I color the beach sign in with the same E35 I used for the tree trunks. I decided I wanted a sun, so I went and die cut the sun that came with the Build an Island die set, and I'm coloring the entire circle with the Y13, and then I add a little bit of Y08 on the top half of the sun, and then I just go back and I blend it with the Y13. I adhere the sun to the cloud background, and then I'm going to adhere the island to the cloud background as well. And I don't put the glue all the way to the top because I want to be able to add my boat behind the island so it looks like the boat's sailing past the island. So once my island is in place, I hurry up and slide the boat behind the palm tree and the island before it dries. I put foam tape on the back of the frog and I adhere it to the front of the card. And then I put a piece of craft foam on the back of the card front, and then I adhere the entire card front to the card base. And that's going to complete my card for today. This card was super quick and easy to make, and I'm sure my husband is going to love it. I want to thank you for joining me on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. Be sure to subscribe to the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any upcoming releases and great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for all their new releases. And as always, thanks for stopping by and have yourself a wonderful day.